Before I start this video, I want to put in kind of like a little warning, because I am going to be placing pictures of my dad, what he's looked like in the hospital over the past like 3 months. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Ash, and as you can tell from the title of this video, I am going to be doing an update on my dad. For those of you who haven't seen the first video to this, my dad got COVID and unfortunately got it really bad and was in the ICU on a ventilator and sedated for about 4 to 5 weeks. So I'm just going to do like an update as to where he is now. In my last video, I mentioned that he had a tracheostomy done, which means they went in and surgically put a hole in his throat and then put a trach in there, which helps him breathe instead of having him intubated, which goes down your throat and through your mouth. He was in the ICU for I think like a week and a half to 2 weeks after he had the trach put in, and then he was transferred to a specialty hospital, which is, I don't even know how to explain it, but he went there for like three or 4 weeks. He was in there. They specialize in respiratory care, and they were just trying to get him off the ventilator and the trach out. They were able to get the oxygen turned down a little bit, but he's still on the ventilator and he still has the trach in. After that, he went to a like a nursing home that had like a rehab facility, and they also specialized in respiratory care. My dad was at this rehab nursing facility for like less than 3 days. He fell several times. He looked like he had had a stroke, like he was disoriented. He had no idea what was going on. They called my sister and let her know that my dad had fallen, but they did not say that he hit his head, which he did, because they gave my sister a copy of the incident report, which they have to legally fill out when somebody gets hurt in a care facility. I worked in one for like almost 5 years, so I know like what they're supposed to do. He had no bed rails on his bed, no mats or anything. He is a fall risk, and they didn't take any precautions for that. He was sent back to the hospital, to the emergency room to get checked out, and they called us and we had to make a decision on whether or not to see if he had a brain injury or brain bleed, or to sedate him and get a CAT scan, which there was also risk for that with him. Luckily enough, he was able to calm down and they were able to do the CAT scan without the risk, and we didn't have to just kind of wait around to see if he had a brain bleed or anything. That all came back clear. It turns out that when he was in the specialty hospital, they did not change out his catheter, so he got a really bad UTI. They were not doing feeds. He's on a feeding tube, so his blood sugars were very, very low, and the IV he had in wasn't even in right, so he wasn't getting anything through the IV, like fluids, medications, none of that was working. So within a few days, my dad declined a lot. He ended up back in the ICU for like a week and a half, where they got him better and took care of the antibiotics. I think he also ended up developing pneumonia again. He is now in a different nursing home, which is closer to me, which is nice. It's like 15 minutes away instead of the almost hour away, so it's easier for me to go down and see him. I can't go in the facility and see him, but I can go to his window and talk to him that way. It really sucks. I would like to be able to go in and see him. I think it would help him a lot, because he's having a really hard time not being able to like see us or any of that, because I mean, we're going on 3 months now of him being in the hospital and dealing with this, and it really sucks. But I mean, it's the best we can do. We got him an iPad so that he can FaceTime us anytime he wants, and to kind of help keep him entertained and busy while he's in there. He's having really bad anxiety about everything. He's worried that he might not walk again because he was in a hospital bed sedated for over a month. So he's having a really hard time with that as well. And now we're dealing with a whole other issue, which I'm not going to get into right now, but I mean, it just seems to be one thing after the other with this. And, we take it day by day, and we're hoping that, that his physical therapy and speech therapy will go good so that he can walk again and get up and move around. Speech therapy will help him talking again because he has the trach and it's hard for him to talk. They have to put this special thing on it so that you can kind of hear what he's saying. It's still kind of hard to make out sometimes, but he's doing that. And then they're also helping him with swallowing and speech because he has a feeding tube. If he doesn't pass the swallow test, they are going to take and place the feeding tube in through his stomach instead of up through his nose. So we're hoping he doesn't have to go through that because that's another surgery for him. We really don't want him to have to go through another surgery because a surgery like that could be easy on my body, but it's going to be a little bit harder on him because his body is super weak still from the COVID. He's got quite a ways to go to recover still, but he's doing a lot better now than he was just a few weeks ago. So we're glad that he's pushing through and is doing his best to recover. It was really hard to go through Thanksgiving and Christmas and not be able to spend time with him. It really sucked not being able to talk to him. We were able to FaceTime him on Christmas, but he wasn't able to talk back to us because of the trach and everything. So, I mean, that really sucked. He's slowly getting better, and we're so thankful for that. We just wish it never happened. So like I said in my first video, please take this seriously. Wear a mask, wash your hands, stay home. I mean, this is serious and it's killing a ton of people. It almost killed my dad, which it's terrifying. Every single day it's just terrifying to know if he's going to make a full recovery and get to go home, or if something else happens and he's going to end up back in the ICU. So this is me just asking, begging whoever sees this to wear a mask and don't go out if you don't need to, because this is serious and it is scary and it's not going to go away if people don't take this more serious. I will probably be making another update in a few weeks or so, just to let everybody know the progress that he's making and if he gets to come home anytime soon, or if I can go see him in person and not outside his window. So I guess if you're interested, keep your eyes out for that video. I will link the first video in the description for anybody who wants to go and watch that. Thank you for watching. Wear a mask, stay safe.